All right, we're here today to talk about the load quality, kind of like a low quality audit, try to help out preloaders and what maybe they can do to help themselves as well as the drivers throughout their day. So at first glance at this package car and this load, it may not look too bad. Not the best obviously, but probably a lot worse than one might think. Like we can identify several safety issues already. One being we have a tripping hazard. We have unnecessary having to bend over for some smalls, and we'll make our way through the truck real quick. So we're going to want to pick these up, with the bend over. To get those, we obviously want to do the proper method. So we lift, bend our knees, lift with our back. We have to get that. If that was loaded on the shelf, we wouldn't even have to bother with that. We have a package right here that's loaded in the middle of the floor, and so we want to make sure we pick that up. We'll address that later. We have a hub snake here. We need to address that, get that out of the package car. That's safety for not only the driver, but for a pre-order as well. So we want to make sure we take care of the hub snake. More tripping hazards, we're going to move those as we come up. Oh my gosh, we got an over 70 loaded on the shelf. We definitely want to make sure we take all these over 70s and put those on the floor. No over 70s on the top shelf. And in fact, if we had some boxes that were heavier, 40, 50 pound packages, we don't want those on the top shelf either. We've had injuries in the past to drivers who go to lift those 40 and 50 pound packages off the shelf and end up with a back injury. So even 40, 50 pound packages, put those on the floor. Going a little bit further, I don't know if we can get our camera guy. There's actually a batter's box in place here. They call that a batter's box because in baseball, as you're a batter, you have your strike zone, batter's box. We want to make sure there is nothing in that batter's box. Nothing at all. So these packages here maybe were just left for the driver, 2,000. So we'll slide that up here for now so we can make a better look at the batter's box. We'll move this over to the side. Now you can get a better look at the batter's box. Nothing goes in the batter's box at all. In the summer months, maybe not as important, although it's always important. But we want to make sure that the driver has about 2 to 3 feet of space in here to get to his first stuff. As peak hits, this truck will be entirely full. We need to have a little bit of space to get back here. And then lastly, as far as I can tell, we want nothing in the cab at all, especially a two-wheel cart. So we want to grab this two-wheel cart and put it back where it belongs. We'll fix that over 70 in just a minute. And now you can see we have an empty cab. That's our first starting point. Driver can come into his truck, empty cab, now walk to his batter's box and he can start addressing his load and where his first stops are going to be. All right, so we're going to start up front, maybe give a few tips on some things we can do to make it a little bit neater, have a better quality load. One of the first things I see is we have a package up here that's not lip loaded and another package loaded on top. As this driver drives in the morning before he gets to his first stop, I can tell you from experience, that package will no longer be on this shelf. It'll be on the floor somewhere because of the way it is. So we want to take this package right here. We want to lip load it. That package is okay on top, but now that it's lip loaded, it will not come off the package, the shelf, the package shelf. So we're going to clean everything up just a little bit. No sense in having all these packages crooked. Much better load. We talked about the batter's box. We got to straighten this batter's box up. So how you do that? All right, so we're going to take this package here. It's a 1300. There's no really need for it to be on the floor to begin with. In the sequence, we'll put it right there. This package now, we left it like that. It's still in the batter's box. Labels there, facing out. We're going to turn it like that. Clean that up real quick like that. Take these packages here the same way. Labels facing forward. Lip load them. Another point real quick. There's a lot of garbage here. That's the driver's and the pre-order responsibility. If you bring something in the truck, get it out of the truck. It just makes for a nicer, neater load. And you got bottles and stuff like that that you could step on. Real quick again, these packages right here, look, we can't have a safe walk path through here. All it takes is one simple move, one simple loading. You spin it around, look at your load numbers. This one will be first. So let's just spin these like that. Still on the floor, much better walkway. Stop there. So now we're in the middle of the truck. Really not that bad here. We're just gonna clean it up a little bit, keep stuff from falling off the shelf. So we wanna go ahead and lip load these real quick. It's important to get the PAL number, if we can, facing out so that we know as preloaders and the drivers know when they come back to get their package. In their diad, it's gonna show what number that is, and that's where they're gonna go. So have them as best as possible, facing outward, labels facing forward. All right, now here's the package here. Hello Fresh, it's food. That's upside down. We don't want to do that. Okay, make sure, and then we got another one, the arrow's facing down. So we're gonna flip these over, okay? Get those right side up, especially ones that have the actual orientation arrows on them. We want to make sure that we follow those orientation arrows. That's cleaned up. This package, great job of lip loading on this one. Package on top, we're gonna slide that a little further back, less chance of falling off. Everything here is not too bad. Again, we'll get some lip loading over here. All right, now we're gonna be a nice, neater load. The only thing now that I see we need to do is, I don't know why, but we got some smalls here on the ground. And again, just to prevent back injuries, lip lower injuries, put those on the shelf. So we wanna make sure these are all 62 and 63 numbers. So we're gonna pick those up on the shelf. Again, like this. So, after just a few tweaks, we now take a look back, and I think we've improved that load quite a bit. We got a nice clean walkway. We don't have any tripping hazards. There's nothing in our batter's box. There's nothing in our cab. So the last thing we'd want to do is, if we made any changes at all, or just as a communication tool, you can take your load paper that you got that morning, leave it back here for the driver. Maybe if we've made some changes, there might be a time or two we actually got to change a few things. Right on the back here, what you've done. You know, we had to move 2,000 load number to the back right or something. But use that as a communication tool, leave it here for your driver, and walk off the end of the day, turn your light out, and that'll do it.